Hello out there. Many blessings to you on this day of gratitude that's coming up tomorrow, but really a day of gratitude for every day. I thought about doing a video on really embodying and empowering gratitude in your daily life and in everything that you do, but I have a feeling there's a few videos already out there about that. So, what did I think would be valuable for you, for me, for all of us, really during Thanksgiving holidays, Christmas holidays, New Year's holidays, all of the family get-together holidays that are going on during this time. And I thought about family. I thought about how when we're around family, there's so much stuff that goes on, or even around the holidays, there's so many to-do lists, so many things that can come up. Anxiousness, excitement, sadness, depression, all of these things that go through the holidays. Disappointment, but that you may not get to see all of the family who you'd like to see, or excitement that you're going to see all these people, but then anxiousness because you're going to be seeing them, and what are they going to be thinking about you, and are we going to fall into the same patterns that we have in the past, etc. So this is about an opportunity, using this time as an opportunity for growth. What do I always go back to? What are our opportunities in life to grow, to deepen within? And with family, there's an amazing opportunity to take advantage of these times during the holidays to grow. So what is it that family, what's so different about family in the realm of opportunity for growth? If you haven't noticed, they're typically the people who can press a button in you easier and quicker than anybody else in your life. Your loved ones, both your partner, life partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, etc., and mom, dad, sister, brother. Those people who are closest to us tend to know how to push the buttons and trigger us the quickest. The shamans say that our family and those who we make love with, our field is wide open to. And when that field is open, it's as though those people know unconsciously exactly what to do and what to say to get our thing going, get our agitation, our frustration, our annoyance, our anger, etc. going. As well as they also know what things to do to make us extremely joyous, happy, excited. What is it that we can use this time in the holidays to deepen into self and become aware? They actually can become, our family can actually become our greatest teachers, our greatest opportunities for growth. They can teach us all of those places that we get reactive. They can teach us that those are the opportunities that it's not them that is actually doing that, it's actually us getting activated. We're experiencing anger when they do ... It really has less to do with them and much more to do with us. It may have begun in this lifetime when we were 2 with mom, or when we were 3 with dad, or etc. And that thing is being activated when we're back around them. Often when we go back to family reunions and gatherings like this, after the 2nd/3rd day, we start to fall back into the archetypical roles that we were living as we were as children. Sometimes we fall into it sooner, sometimes later, but usually after that 3rd day, if you might discover that mom, dad, brother, sister, the whole family wants to start to fit back into the roles that we fulfilled as a child. Now it's our opportunity as we awaken, as we choose to embody who we recognize who we truly are, not just as a personality, but as a sovereign being, as a soul being, recognizing that we are the self connected to oneness, that we're no longer those roles, and we actually choose to no longer fulfill those roles just to accommodate others, which can bring up a bit of discomfort within ourselves stepping into that, especially around family, as well as create a rather bit of discomfort around those around us, because they want us to stay in those roles. So the yogis, what they would do, a lot of yogis would just leave the family forever and never return, because it was difficult to evolve and grow into the being that they were choosing to embody, that light being, that soul being of consciousness in union with God. it was difficult to embody that while still around the family, because the family kept wanting to pull them back into the roles that they were expected to fulfill as a child. And as a parent, a parent will always at some level see their child as a child. It's their child. And they don't really see them as their adult, they see them as their child. So that often the family members want to pull us back into those roles. I've said that a few times now. So we can recognize when that is happening, and we can recognize when we're falling into actually accommodating and fulfilling those roles, or being agitated in fulfilling the role, whatever it is. And if we recognize it, we can also make a conscious choice, either during the time of recognition when it's happening or after. I don't choose to fulfill this anymore. I'm going to choose to do another thing, another way. I had to, for a little while, take a little distance from my family, and I know they remember this time, and they felt a little estranged, a little worried that they might be losing the relationship with me and connection with me. And it was true. They were losing the way of courting into me from the past, the way of connecting into me, having some form of influence or control in the way I respond in life or respond to them. And what happened is the evolvement came into this place of I am not even just Jason, I am me. I am this being that is, embodying life, experiencing life in this new way. Not even known to me, but knowing that I'm evolving into this new place, this new way of being an expression that continues. And I choose to do this whether you approve of it. So you have this opportunity over the holidays with family to begin to touch on that. You don't have to throw it in their face. It's not about you proving something to them. It's about you discovering where you're not truly you when you're around those who you love and who you want to maintain a relationship with, who you want to experience love with. And it brings up the fear that we may get abandoned. They may not like us. They may not respond to us the same way that we know and are comfortable with. But yet, what is more important? Is it more important to be you, or is it more important to be who they want you to be, so everything is comfortable? A lot of us will choose that comfort. It's easier. It's kind of easier. It becomes kind of the default, and that seems easier. But the turmoil, the challenge, the discomfort within starts to become so great that we no longer want to do that. So what can we do? I'm not inviting you to create a lot of chaos at home. If that does come up, it may come up anyway. What I'm inviting you to do is just recognize when you're falling into the old roles, and just ask yourself, do you choose to fulfill this role for you, for them, for comfort, for safety? For what reason? And is it who you truly are? And if it's not who you truly are, can you just recognize that that's not who you truly are, and you're just playing a role right now? And you're making that choice because of comfort, because it's easier, or whatever the story is. And just recognize that it's you fulfilling a role, and that's not who you truly are. You don't have to do more than that at this juncture. Maybe it's more. Maybe you choose, I'm going to share it with my mom. I'm going to share it with my dad. I see that we're falling into the old roles that we were as a family when I was a child. And I don't choose to play that role with you anymore. And I'd like you to come with me on this ride and actually experience me as the Jason of who I am now rather than who I was. I'll share the story that happened with me, kind of the beginnings of this. We were at Christmas, and we were at the dinner table, and we usually do a very simple prayer, or we used to do this prayer, probably still do at times. Come our Jesus, be our guest, let these gifts be to us be blessed. And it was the simple prayer we would do at the dinner table when I was growing up. And I think somebody did that prayer at the Christmas dinner table one of the years, maybe like a decade ago. And at the time, it was not in alignment for me to say that prayer out loud. I didn't need to throw it in their faces. I just needed to declare that that was no longer my prayer. So I just remained silent. But of course, my dad, being very hyper aware of, or consciously aware of me, and that I was going through a lot of changes, he noticed that I didn't say the prayer, and he asked, well, I noticed why you didn't say the prayer. And I said, well, I was doing my own prayer silently. And so he kept pushing with this, and he asked, well, is this prayer not good enough? Why didn't you choose to say this prayer? I said, do you really want to go here now? And he said, yeah, I want to know. And I said, okay, well, I believe in the beauty of what Jesus offered, or his teachings have been offered, and I applaud those. It's just that I don't believe that he's my Savior or anybody else's Savior. I don't believe that I was born in sin, and I don't believe I need a Savior for that. So for me to pray, do a prayer that's from an old belief of mine that's no longer my belief, it just doesn't really align, so I chose to be silent. I honor him, I honor you, I see Jesus in you, I see Jesus in me, and I don't see him as my Savior. Didn't need to go into more. My dad got up, left the table for about 10 minutes. Certainly probably went through his own process of disappointment. Maybe disappointment in me, disappointment in his son not being who he had hoped he would be. But I didn't apologize for that either. I apologized that it was, if I did apologize, it was just like, sorry, Dad, that I'm not really who you are, but I'm not sorry who I am. I'm sorry that you may be getting the son that you didn't envision, and I'm sorry that that's bringing up suffering for you. At some level, there was sorrow for him, but there wasn't sorrow for me being the person who I am. And it was a big leap, because I always wanted to please my father growing up, and really as an adult wanted to please him. That was the natural part of the limbic brain that always wants to please him. But it was more important for me to be me. And he came back to the table, and I said, it's not what you wanted to hear, was it? And he goes, no, but that's okay. And I'm sure he had some challenges with that night, but he then took me to the airport the next day, early in the morning, and I was kind of hesitant about that, but it actually was great. We talked. We didn't really go back to that. That's not really his way. But it was just a recognition of him recognizing me as a man at some level, and I know he recognizes that I'm not the person that he envisioned his son to be, but he recognizes me as, he knows that I'm a good person, and he knows that he wants to have a relationship with me, and he wants to be a part of my life. And him being part of my life requires him also embracing that this is who I am, whatever that is, whoever I am. So that little story, whether that inspires you or not, it is my story in the world. Not really attached to story, but it was beautiful for me, and from then on it's just been an evolution of me being more and more me, regardless of whoever else around me wants me to be that or not. Take it for what you will. You have an opportunity this holiday season to really embody and embrace these times, these stressful times and the family times. Notice if there's cords connected. Consider letting those cords go and just being you, still having a relationship with mom, dad, lover, brother, sister, extended family, but you don't have to be corded into them and connected so deeply with them. I know I have a video on cutting cords. Look at that, look that up, that may help you. And take this opportunity to have fun over the holidays and grow. Many blessings to you. Send you lots of love and light on this goodness day of gratitude that is here today and every day. And until next time, namaste.